What is up, everyone? Welcome back, and I hope you're all doing awesome. Today we're jumping into r nuclear revenge. We'll be taking a look at some people that decided to take fate into their own hands, and then we'll decide whether or not we think it was justified. Because sometimes people can take things a bit too far, but other times it's totally called for. Now, I'm sure we all know that most of the time they probably have it coming, but we'll have to see. But I'm sure we can all use a laugh first, so let's kick it off with some instant karma. Enjoy this angry drunk guy's poor attempt at flipping over a bench. You know you've had too much to drink when you lose a fight to a picnic table. Anyway, moving on. A man harassed me and I got his retirement benefits taken away. So this took place over 3 years, give or take some. I'm a 29-year-old female. I left the military and picked up a contracting job in the same field. While I was starting my new career, I was also leaving an unhappy and abusive marriage. My ex-husband, 29, was a store manager at a GameStop, and when asked if he gave military discounts, he would give the military discount, and then ask if people knew me on base and what I was up to. A man we will call Bubble Bass, 35-ish, actually worked for me, and the two of them bonded over their mutual hate for women. Bubble Bass would refer to me as a whore and slut at work, and even went so far as to attempt to get my home address to give to my ex. I reported the incidents through proper channels and had to get a new apartment, but unsurprisingly, the military did nothing to Bubble Bass. So I decided to keep my eyes on him and wait until he made another mishap. Over the next 3 years working with him was horrible. He would undermine my authority in the section by telling junior people I was stupid, being intentionally insubordinate, and publicly talking about how he was exploiting the foster care system to make money off the children he was supposed to be taking care of. About a year ago now, another girl, a 20-year-old, came to me and told me that Bubble Bass was approaching her in a way that made her uncomfortable. When I pulled up their chat logs, Bubble Bass was begging her to have sex with him, even though he was married, and she was repeatedly telling him she wasn't interested. I convinced the girl to report Bubble Bass despite her hesitation. During the investigation, while I was being interviewed, I spared no detail about what exactly Bubble Bass was doing and saying to include fraud, waste, and abuse of government assets and systems. I kept a literal list with dates and times. As things turned out, there were about 4 other women at our base Bubble Bass was sexually harassing. Bubble Bass went to non-judicial punishment this week and lost everything. He has 18 years in the military and was 2 years away from a full retirement. He lost his clearance. He lost his foster children. He lost his honorable discharge. He is literally starting his life over in his 30s with a discharge that shows he sexually harasses women with no benefits and 18 years of training in a job field that is only relevant if he has a clearance. You gotta love it, man. 18 years of building up your military reputation just for it all to be gone like that. And the terrible part about this is who knows how long he's been doing this and was just never caught. Sometimes all it takes is just one person to put together concrete proof to take someone down. But I guess unfortunately, people can also just get away with this stuff for years, just because no one ever bothered to step up and do something about it. It really is a shame that so many people, men and women, are afraid to speak up about this stuff, probably afraid that they'll be accused of lying. And it really doesn't help that there are people out there that do lie about harassment and abuse and whatever. And the ones that do lie are actively harming the people that are actually telling the truth about this kind of stuff. Amber Heard, for example. Anyway, the guy in the story definitely deserved this. And it's actually really great to hear that the military did something about it too, instead of just sweeping it under the rug. Beat me up? My mother will burn your house down. So the story might be a bit long. Alright, so I am Wiccan, aka not Christian, and I'm pretty open about it. Now, this got me in trouble when I was younger, specifically in the 4th grade. I was bullied heavily in school for this, since I lived in a predominantly Christian area in the South. Note, my town is literally only 900 people. This means everyone knows everyone. The bullying started typical and manageable, being called names and having stuff knocked out of my hands. The only thing that really got under my skin was when they'd call me a Satanist or devil worshipper. But even then, I'd just brush it off, since I'm neither of those things, and I'd even correct them on what Satanism was. This might have made it worse for a bit, but I had fun doing it. Well, one day, I guess I must have done something these kids really didn't like, because they managed to talk their older siblings into following me home to beat me up. Some of their siblings were seniors or even graduates. 3 of them were legally adults. This is especially important. As a kid, I have no sense of danger, and just took them following me as them going the same way, but I was still moving pretty fast because we just got a Wii and I wanted to play Mario. Well, I managed to get to my yard, but not much farther than that, when my backpack got grabbed and I was pushed to the ground. These teens were now beating me, and they weren't pulling any punches either. Well, I guess my mom heard the noise and came outside. They ran off after that. My mom picked me up and had to take me to the emergency room. I had 2 fractures in my nose and a broken arm. This meant I couldn't play the Wii until it healed, and the police were called while I was there. Remember how I said I reached my yard? Well, we had cameras that caught most of the assault and caught almost all of the teens' faces. The ones who were 16 and under mostly got a slap on the wrist, and that was that. There were about 7 of them, I think. Not all were hitting me, some were recording. But the ones who were 18 got arrested and faced some heavy prison time. Now, there was this 17-year-old, who I will call Trashy Teen from here on, who managed to walk out of this after a few days in county jail. My mom was not happy with this at all, since his birthday was about 2 weeks away and he should have been charged as an adult. Now, like I said before, this is a small town where everyone knows everyone else, and my mom knew exactly where the Trashy Teen lived and knew his parents. This is the point where my mom shared the majority of the story. I'd like to point out that his parents weren't nice people at all, and my mom definitely had more than one reason to despise these people. The fact that their son broke my bones sent her off the edge with his family, and I think the final nail in the coffin for them was actually bragging about how their son got away with beating up that heathen boy at the local stores and on social media. It didn't take too long for my mom to work out a plan in her mind, because later that week she told me that she'd get them out of town no matter what. My mom is not a killer though, and while she later did admit she was tempted to enact the plan much sooner, she chose not to make things worse if she gets caught. She waited for 2 months, that is, until summer break hit. Trashy family was not one to be quiet about big plans, since they loved to brag about having more money than most in the town, and would always announce when they would be going on vacation, where they'd be going, and for how long they'd be going for. This was it, my mom's golden opportunity. She made sure everything was set, checked around Trashy family's neighbors' houses for any cameras, made sure that she had a place she wouldn't be seen, and on the last day of Trashy family's vacation, as I said, they'd even announce how long they'd be gone. She went down at night and set their house on fire. The small town didn't have its own fire station. The nearest one was 45 minutes away. By the time a fire truck got there, the damage had been done. Most of their house was completely destroyed. Just like clockwork, that next morning, they arrived to see the destruction. You could hear the screaming 3 blocks away. My mom just sat in her chair drinking coffee and watching the Golden Girls. The reason I chose to write this now is because my mother passed away in 2017. This was when she chose to tell me the whole story. I didn't want anyone who knew her to read this immediately after her passing, so I waited a few years before sharing. I do kind of wonder when this took place because fire investigations these days are actually pretty thorough. So while it's probably likely that the fire investigators could tell that it was an act of arson, maybe they just couldn't trace it back to OP's mom to ever catch her. That is pretty messed up though, that OP got jumped by a bunch of teenagers, especially considering that OP was in the 4th grade at the time, so he had to be, 9 years old? The ones that were 18 though, I'm sure didn't think this through. If this happened just a year before, it wouldn't have been as bad for them. But as far as the law is concerned, all it takes is a 1-year difference in age to make the difference between bullying and assaulting a minor. So yeah, they definitely deserved it. Someone in the comments asked, what happened to the Trashy family after the burn? Did they leave town? And were you still bullied after the camera caught the bullies? And OP responds, they did leave town. They stayed at a homeless shelter for a bit, 2 towns over, until they found a place. I don't know where they moved to, but I feel sorry for their new neighbors. And I was still bullied, but never that bad again. The bullying stopped when I hit my sophomore year of high school. Now, looking through the comments section of this post, I found something interesting. I thought I'd share it with you all. Not to go too off topic, but I guess it still pertains to revenge, per se. This person here said, don't forget, and they linked this website called poopsenders.com. With a URL like that, I gotta see what's going on here. So let's see what we got here. From the front page of this website, the original poop senders, always fresh, always anonymous. The ultimate gag gift, sweet revenge at its finest, guaranteed anonymous. Package tracking, emailed instantly. Order now. So this is an actual business where you can pay to have them send poop to someone. By the way, I am not panning over on this picture for you guys. It's an elephant's rear end. So let's look at the options. Cow dung, $17.95, and you can choose a quart or a gallon. Elephant crap, $18.95. Gorilla poop, $19.95. And they even have a combo pack, all 3 in one big nasty mess. And this comes in a gallon or a mega pack for $44.95. It gets even better though. Let's look at what else is on this page. Our signature card. Each package of poop contains the following business card right in the mess. It reads, "You've been pooped on. Want to know by whom? Over." When they see the front of the card, they will have to open the bag releasing the nasty aroma, then dig it out of the poop only to find this on the back. "We'll never tell." And then they link their website. And then they go on to let you know it's guaranteed anonymous. They even have a list of customer testimonials too. But not all of the people in here are customers, some of them are recipients. This one reads, "I've received 2 packages of crap in the last 2 weeks. I know it's somebody in the office. So whoever's doing it, the joke's over. Quit sending me crap." What in the world did we stumble upon, guys? This is something else. And this is not sponsored, but poop senders, if you want to sponsor me, hit me up. Alright guys, well I think that's going to be it for today. I just really wanted to share that, and I thought you guys would get a kick out of it too. Anyway, I'd appreciate it if you dropped a like on the video and subscribe if you want to see more. We're also trying to add more variety to the channel, so if there's any subreddits you want to see me cover, comment down below. And with that, I'm out of here everyone. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.